Y'all should have done dot plots last year, right? Yes?
Yes.
And some relief plots last year. Yes. The only thing really different this year about dot plots and sim and leaf is we're going to add decimals and fractions to that. So the steps are the same, but now you're going to have decimals and fractions as well. What is a dot plot? Read it, Ethan.
You have to organize small sets of data that uses dots or X's and shows an axis to show the frequency or number of times that each number occurs.
Okay, so to create a dot plot, we need to organize the data into groups. To me, to do this, it's easier to make a frequency table like table to help us with this. So I'm going to I'm going to go through my little table right here, and I'm going to see that my time, I have an hour, and then I have an hour, 1.25 hours, 1.5 hours, 1 3/4 hours, 2 hours, and then 2.5 hours. And then I'm going to go through there and put a tally mark for each time these hours occur. So I have a 1, so I'm going to put a tally next to 1. I have 1.25 hours. I'm going to put a tally there. 1.5 tally. 2 hours tally. 1.25 hours tally. 1 3/4 tally. 1.25 tally. Tally. 1 3/4 tally. 2.5 tally. I personally also feel like it's helpful to do that because now I have my times in order from smallest to largest. I don't want to go in random order. I don't want 2.5, 1, 1 3/4, 1.25, 2, 1 3/4. I need them to go in an order. So either least to greatest or greatest to least when I'm listing them down below. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we've done step 1. Now step 2 is to create the plot. So I'm going to add these hours down here on my axis. So I'm going to start with 1, and then I'm going to have 1.25, 1.5, 1 3/4, 2, 2.5. Everybody get that? Okay. What am I going to title this down here?
Time spent playing video game.
I would say hours, okay? My title for my dot plot would be what, Kate?
Time spent playing video games.
Yes. Okay, we'll title this hours. Okay. How many people spent an hour playing video games?
2.
What am I going to put above 2?
2 dots.
Okay. How many people spent 1 1/4 hours
3.
playing? 3. Okay.
Will that be worse than 5 minutes?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Wouldn't that be 1 hour and 45 minutes?
Well, let's see. How many minutes are in an hour?
60.
But it's 60 divided by 4. 60
It'll be 3 hours.
divided by 4.
Is
4. Hold on.
added it
4
all
goes into 6. 1 times 4.
It's 4.
How many times is 4
4
going
times
to
4
20?
going to 20.
5.
It's 15.
Each quarter of an hour is how many minutes?
What?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. So it would be 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
Very good question. Okay, how many people spent 1.5 hours playing video games?
What?
Use the pink sharpener, please.
Tyler,
Tyler, use a
Hey guys, I got it. Please use the pink sharpener when I'm recording, please. How many people spent 1 3/4 hours playing video games?
2.
How many people spent 2 hours playing video games?
1.
How many people spent 2.5 hours playing video games?
One.
That'll be 2:30. 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So now I need to add a key to the bottom of the dot plot and title your graph. So what was my title again, Peyton?
Time to play video games.
Yes. Time. Spent.
Is that why we is that because we don't do the title because if the dots go too far up we didn't figure it out? Because if it was there we have to erase it and do it all again.
So yeah, I'm sorry.
Like if is that why like when we put the title on there, is that why we not do it first? Because if the dots go too far up.
No, I mean, if we did that first, it would be okay. We could be kind of cognizant, or we could like think about make sure I put it up high enough, but that would be okay. I just kind of like, in my mind, that's just kind of the order I go. I'm not gonna say, oh, you're wrong. You put that on there first.
Yep.
That wouldn't be a good question though. Okay, now I need to make a key, right?
Yes.
All right, Della, what are you thinking?
1 dot equals 1 time.
Oh, one dot equals one person.
Yep. 1 dot equals 1 person. And the key is really important to read because it could say 1 dot equals 4 people, right? And so if the question asked you how many people play for an hour and 15 minutes, what would the answer be? If each dot was 4 people,
It would be 16. I mean 12.
it'd be 12 people. So that key is super important. That's the first thing that, well, I would look at what the graph is representing and then look at my key terms to see how many are in each category.
Do you think we're ever gonna have like a question where we have to solve to get the key?
Solve to get the key?
Yeah.
No, because the key tells you, like, really important information.
Okay.
I guess there could be a question where you could work backwards. But right now, I cannot think of one, to be honest with you. I have not seen it tested that way either.
How would you do it if you is 2 and you have one that's just 1?
Say it again.
If you have one that's like 1 dot equals 2 people, and you only have 1 person on one. You do half a dot.
So it would be half a dot.
Okay.
So I could do, circle.
What did you say? What did you
Like
say?
that,
He said if
or
the
like
key
that,
was 1 equals 2, then what would you do if you want to just have
or like that.
one like that?
It could be like half a dot. Those are my half a little dots. So it's not, remember, no, I'm not a teacher. All right.
Art with Miss Ketchum.
Are there, exactly, Art 101 with Ms. Ketchum.
Oh no, we have art today.
Hold on, stay on task. Are there any questions on dot plots?
My pencil just went through my shoe.
That's the easiest.
Oh my gosh.
What the?
Yes, Stella. Stop, please. Okay, stem and leaf. This was new to you last year, but it should not be new this year. The only thing new that we're adding to it is
Scatter plot.
the fractions or the decimals. Okay.
Scatter plot, either one.
Well, don't rush. We're on stem and leaf right now. Okay. Let's see. Who can read loud? Go for it, Peyton. Read a stem and leaf plot.
Okay, I told you your paper because I can't see the top of mine.
Okay.
Stem and leaf plots. Graph used to analyze and compare groups numerical data by separating the digits in numerical values based on place value. The left digits of the data form the stems and the remaining digits in fraction form, the leaves, that correspond with each stem as designated by a key. Step 1. In order to create a stem and leaf plot, we need to first organize the data into groups.
Okay. So, depending on what your information is, you are going to look at your place values. So if we look at our data here, it's still the same video game information. If we look, we have fractions, right?
Yeah.
So it probably would make sense to organize these, if we're looking at place values, by the whole number, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really not going to organize these yet. We're just going to talk about how we're going to create this in the leaf. So since we have whole numbers, we've been mixing it right. We have a whole number and a fraction. So in that case, our stem is always on the left side. The leaf will always be on the right side. I would recommend your stem be your whole number and your leaf be your fraction. Well, I'm going to give myself some room.
That's a big leaf plot for only 2 numbers.
Well, we're going to have lots of leaves, right? How many points of data do I have right here?
2. No.
In my chart. So I have to have how many leaves?
10.
If I have 10 things up here, I have to have 10 leaves. So now let's organize the information up here in my stem and leaf plot. So when you list, who can remember from last year? Do I have to list my leaves in order from least to greatest?
Yes.
Who agrees yes? Who says no? It doesn't matter. Okay, so it does matter. We have to list our leaves in order from least to greatest. And it has to be least to greatest. It can't be greatest least. It has to be least to greatest. So looking at my stems, I have whole numbers of 1 and whole numbers of 2. So starting with whole numbers of 1, what is my smallest amount there?
1.
Okay. So I'm going to cross that off. I'm going to go through here now and check. Do I have any more just 1?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm listing both of those. 1, 1. What would be my next smallest?
1/4.
Okay, so I have 1 1/4 here. Do I have anywhere else?
Yes.
Right above
I do. Oh, and another one. That was a popular time. Okay, what would be my next?
1 and 1/2.
1 1/2, yes. How many 1 1/2 do I have?
1.
Just 1. Now what do I have?
1 3/4.
1 3/4. And I have that twice. Okay, do I have any more 1s as my stem?
No.
Okay, what is my smallest 2?
2.
Okay, And then I have
2 over 2.
2.5.
let's count how many things we have written down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is that how many I said were in here?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have something important to talk about. So, I have to list something for the leaf for one hole, right?
Yes.
My leaves are going to be fraction forms, because all the other ones are fractions, right? So what can I list as a fraction form for the leaf of 0, for 1? Braden?
Like for like 1/4, you can do decimal 25.
Not in a minute. Our leaves are going to be in fraction form, but I'm some kind of fraction for one hole. Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
0 over 0?
Not 0 over 0.
4 over 4.
And that's equal is 4 over 4. That would equal 4 over 4 plus 1 would be 2.
2 over 2.
2 over 2 would still be equal to 1. 2 over 2 plus 1 would be 2.
1 over 2.
Nope, that would say 1/2.
0.
Trixie.
0.
1 over 1.
1 over 1 would be equal to 1. 1 whole leaf plus 1 whole stem is 2. Y'all are getting closer, Peyton.
0 over 2.
Yes. 0 over, well,
Or something
yes.
like
Yes, we can do 0 over 2 or we can do 0 over 4, okay? Because these, if you look here, it would probably have been smarter for me to put 2/4 right here instead of 1/2, but I just simplified it. So since my stems fraction forms are in fourths, my leaf for one whole, I'm going to put 0/4.
Okay.
If I said, Braden, I have one whole, and I said, but I have to, for my stem, I have to show something. And I took and shaded 0 of those fourths in. How much do I have in that picture?
1
4.
whole. Oh, I get it.
0.
Well, I have this here. These go together.
1 and 0 fourths.
Here's my stem. Here's my leaf.
That'll be 0 fourths.
Well, so this represent your,
Stem.
which is how many holes?
1.
My leaf is,
0 fourths.
so I still have, it still gives me a placeholder for my leaf, but it leaves the amount 1 whole. Like I have to have a placeholder that shows there was somebody who played for 1 hour.
I get it.
That's the placeholder for that.
Wait a
But
minute.
is it only like
Why couldn't
we
we
Let
could
me
have done
finish, please.
we could have done 0 2 and 0 4 for the leaf also?
I could have done 0 over 2.
But,
But-
say it's like 1 and 5/6 and that's all there is, you'd only be able to do 0 over 6, right?
We're gonna do more. We're gonna do another fraction example in a little bit, and I'll check on it then.
But why couldn't it be 0 over 0?
Because you can't have a denominator of 0 to be a fraction.
Because if you have a 0
So-
as your denominator,
It's nothing.
So could it be 0 again?
Because it'd be times 1, which would equal
I would
1.
look
and
at
it's
your-
plus nothing.
It can't be 0 in the denominator. I would look at what you're working with in your table. It would have been smarter for me to put 1 and 2/4 instead of 1 and 1/2 since these were fourths. I was just thinking about simplifying the fraction. Okay, so how many 0/4 do I need?
2.
2. So I have 2 people that played for an hour.
Do we do the comma?
Yes, that separates them.
Okay.
Okay, what will my next leaf be?
1/4.
1 4. I have my 1 on this side, my 1/4 there.
If we want to run out of room, where do we go? The bottom of
We
it?
can go right here underneath it.
Okay.
What's my next leaf gonna be?
4 and 4.
Yes.
We have 3 1/4s.
Yep. My next leaf will be.
1 and 4.
You see how I'm crossing them out as I go? Please do that so you don't either forget one or put too many. My next leaf will be
3. Wow.
1/2.
That'll be 3/4.
Yes. Then it will be
3/4.
Wait, and see. One more time. Okay, that's all I think.
All right. I'm gonna let y'all run. Let you catch up for a minute.
That was interesting.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm at the stem 2. If you look at where I organized from least to greatest, I have 2 holes. So what am I gonna put as my leaf as a placeholder?
0, 2.
0.
Over 2.
I used 4 up here, so I'm gonna use 4 down here. The majority of my fraction denominators are 4.
So, like what we're doing right now, could we do like a 0 over 3 just to? Could you do anything
You
besides
could,
0?
but in your problems that you're going to give me on the STAR test or your unit test, the denominator is going to match your data in this table.
Okay.
Yes.
I still don't understand like how you would do 0 over 4 because you would go and multiply and add, do the Texas thing or whatever, and like when you're trying to get your whole number out of the next
Hold on,
number.
pause. Let's finish doing this and then talk about that. I don't know what Texas thing you're talking
Like
about.
the plus and the x, it makes like the short thing for Texas.
Here in here, please, so don't I don't know what that is.
So it,
I see. You're not making an improper fraction. You're overthinking it. Let's finish this and then we'll look at that,
so
okay?
it most,
Because we're going to do another fraction example in a minute and maybe seeing it again will help you. You're overthinking it. We're just looking for a quick. Let's finish this and let me explain more. And then we'll do another example and then I'll let you ask this question. Because you're way overthinking that topic.
Yes, I'm lost.
You're way overthinking. You're not lost. You're way overthinking it. Promise. It's a new concept. You're not completely lost. You're just overthinking it. Let's finish this one again.
so if your denominator,
What's my
So if your denominator was like lots of 2s and you use like 2
Yes. Okay, what's my next leaf going to be?
One half.
1/2. Yes.
And that's your last one.
Okay. Do you remember how we counted how many were here? After we sorted these from least to greatest? Now we need to count our leaves. How many leaves do we have?
10, 10, 10.
Okay, Tatum, if I did not include my 0 over 4 here, here, and here,
You don't
how
even
many
have-
leaves would I have?
No.
Not 8.
You would have
Hold on.
you'd have 7. Our number of leaves have to match what's in here. That's why our 0 over 4 is our placeholder. So we have to have the number, however many are here, has to represent our chart we're doing. Okay, so step 3 says add a key to the bottom of the stem and leaf plot and title your graph. So my key for this, we're gonna say
Each fraction is one person.
They grew up
Nope.
so fast.
1
Oh.
line 3, 4 equals 1 and 3, 4. Everyone's doing this.
Literally same thing. Just when people saw
Wait, what box am I key?
Yes.
Okay, my title would be what?
Time spent playing video games.
Okay.
You did it?